Today I'm going to show you how to inspect a used truck. So first I'm going to start with the engine, which is the most important part of the truck. To inspect the engine before starting the engine. Right now with the engine off, don't start the engine. The first thing I'm going to do is to inspect for oil leaks around the area. You want to see if you can see any oil leaks. Wet areas around, you see there is a wet area in this case. So see for those wet areas or marks on the floor. If you see oil like those marks over there, you can report it. But in this case, I'm gonna recommend you to grab a piece of paper and write all the problems that you're gonna find with the truck. In this case, we find an oil leak, we wanna write it. The second step to check on an engine is for coolant leaks. You're gonna check the hoses. In the same time you were checking the hoses, check the condition of the hose. If you see the hose has a cut or something, report it, write it on a piece of paper. And you're gonna inspect for leaks like this. See marks, there is something going on, there is a leak, so you have to write it and report it. For the next step will be checking the components of the engine for broken components. Check the area, broken components, broken wires, sensors, fuel lines, belts, tensioners. If everything looks on place, it looks like the engine is in a good condition. So the next step is to start the engine. Okay, before starting the engine, the first thing you're gonna do is put the ignition on and check all the gauges moving around. Depending of the truck, they will move or they will stay in a one position. Now we see that there is not lights on, nothing. We have this low voltage because the truck is been sitting for a while. So we're gonna attempt to start the engine. Okay, the warning light, low voltage went away. The voltage is raising. Oil pressure is okay. Oil temperature should go up later. RPMs are okay, 600. Air pressure is building normal, as you can see, is going up normally with no problems. So those are things that you have to check as soon as you start the engine. Now we want to leave the engine running for a while until the fan, because the fan is running, as you can see, because the low pressure, the pressure is low. So we want to let the fan go off, and then we want to check the engine again. We want to wait for the air dryer cut off. It should be at any second right now. Alright, that's the discharge for the air dryer. That means that the air system is working with no problems. With the engine running, all we're gonna hear is for weird noises from the engine. If you hear any weird noise, write it and report it. We're gonna let the engine run for a while. Meanwhile, we are letting the engine run for a while. We're gonna check again for oil leaks on the floor. To inspect for oil leaks. If you see any oil leak, identify the oil leak, identify the source of the oil leak, and report it, write it. And you're gonna check for coolant leaks too. Again, if you see any coolant leak, write it and report it. Check the belt again for noises. Turbo components. If there is no exhaust smell in the area, that means that everything is okay. Check for leaks around the engine cooler. Check the radiator for leaks. Okay, everything seems to be working with no problems on the engine. There is no leaks, there is no coolant leaks. Everything is alright. If that's the case on the truck you're buying, go to the next step, which is the engine. What you're gonna do is floor it all the way like this. If you can hear any noise when you floor it, that means that you have a problem or something. Now we are inside the cab with the engine running. We're gonna check all the components inside the cab. So when I check the windows, they should be working with no problems, both of them. The power mirrors, check them out to see if they work. In this case, this one doesn't work, but check them out. If this doesn't work, report it, write it. The power locks, they should be working with no problems. If your truck is equipped with it, the one that you're gonna buy, the truck that you're gonna buy, check the cruise control. It should be working with no problems. If it doesn't work, write it. Check the city horn. If it works, and if it doesn't work, write it again. We're gonna check the steering wheel. Turn the steering wheel like this for noises. If you hear any noise coming from the steering wheel, write it and report it. If you hear that the steering wheel is getting tight, write it and report it. We're gonna check the air conditioning. We're gonna put it to the maximum. Make sure that this light is on. The blower is working. Feel the temperature. If you feel that the AC is working with no problems, okay, so that means that everything is alright. If you feel that there is no air coming out from the vents, or the air is coming very hot, write it and report it. Now you're gonna switch the position of the seats, of the vents, I'm sorry. You want to see that this physically changes. In this case, it's coming from here. So you're gonna do the same for all the positions. The seats, you're gonna see that they working, they go up, they go down, and everything else then that they're equipped with works. Check both of the seats. You're gonna check the windshield wipers, the washer. See that it's spraying water. You're gonna check for that. In the sleeper area, you're gonna check for the fridge. You're gonna open it, see if it works. If the truck that you're buying is equipped with, you wanna check the cabinets. You wanna see if they're locking properly, if they're open, if it can be open and locked. Check all that. If they don't work, report it and write it so they can fix it for you. Check all the cabinets. Check the bed. In this case, you can ask for a new mattress, because if you are the person that is gonna be driving the truck, at least ask for this, because I mean you will need to sleep in a nice place. Check the rear air conditioner. In this case, it's the sleeper air conditioner. If it works, the blower. It is cold. Check if it changes temperature. We're gonna do the same with the front air conditioner. We're gonna change the temperature. If it works with no problem, we're gonna change it back to cold, and it has to go back to the temperature it was from the beginning. You're gonna check all the switches here, the light switches, sleeper, and all the switches over here. You're gonna see if they work. You see, footwell, this one again, and this one here. Check all of them. If they don't work, write it and report it. The next step is to test the clutch. We're gonna press the clutch all the way in, and now we're gonna apply the gear. It should be like this. You won't be able to put the gear on. This means that the clutch is stopping with no problems. The gear is stopping on time. See, now I just released the clutch a little. Right now you can see I released the clutch a little just to apply the gear, and the gear is on now. See, so that means that the clutch is working with no problems. So for example, if you are going to buy a truck and you press the clutch and you hear this, and you hear that, that means that the clutch is not stopping on time, and it's something wrong with the clutch. Either then the clutch is low, it is old, or the clutch is not the right one for the truck. Step is to test the selectors. You're gonna hear for noises. In this case, this is a 13 speed. It has this selector over here, the range. You're gonna hear for noises. You can actually put your ear over here if you are not sure, to hear the selection of the gear on the transmission to see if it's working. With the engine running, we're just gonna wait until the temperature raises to around 200 degrees, and then we're gonna go outside and inspect the truck again for leaks. In the meantime, you can check all these switches over here. These are the optional switches for many different options that you can do when you drive in the truck. In this case, we have the differential lock, the fifth wheel lock, and the suspension dump switch. So we're gonna test the suspension dump switch first, and we're gonna see the truck going down. In this case, really hard to see it going down, but it's going down very slowly while the pressure is dropping on the airbags. So that means that this switch is working with no problems. So if this is the case, then everything is alright. Just put it back on the same place. Now the fifth wheel lock, we wanna open it, and now we are going to check. Then the fifth wheel lock is actually open. As you can see, it's all the way in. You have to physically check if this thing doesn't open at all, write it and report it. And now we're gonna lock the fifth wheel again, and you have to physically inspect. Then the lock is back on its locked position. And the last switch is the differential lock. To actually see this one work, you have to go to a really bad place to actually see if the differential lock is working. One step that I almost forgot about is the engine brake. In this case, the engine brake of this truck doesn't work at idle. You have to be running in order to activate the engine brake and make it run. So you have to test the engine brake. Make sure that the engine brake works in your truck. When I check all the switches, check all of them, check for functionality on the switches. Something that I forgot to tell you before is to check the doors. The door handles, you have to see that the door handles, they are working with no problem. You have to open the door from the inside and out. And you're gonna check the windshields. Check the windshields for cracks.